Imagine you're running a fast-paced factory line, and you need to organize a continuous stream of moving data. Let's say you put a worker robot, we'll call him Loop, in charge of the conveyor belt. This diagram shows Loop's specific task. He needs to look at these incoming boxes, numbered 5, 2, -1, 0, and 3, and find the highest combined value of any 3 boxes that are touching each other. Loop starts logically. He groups the first 3 boxes together, adds 5, 2, and -1, and gets a starting total of 6. But to check the next group, Loop resets entirely. He backs up, starts over at the 2, adds the -1, and then adds the 0 to get a new total of 1. As the boxes keep coming, Loop has to constantly step backward to count the next group from scratch. Even though 2 of the boxes were already in his hand a second ago, he ignores what he already knows and starts the math over. This forces massive redundant recalculation. For a small handful of items, it's just a bit slow, but with millions of items on that belt, this constant backtracking creates a massive pileup that brings the whole system to a halt. We solve this by bringing in a different robot named Slider. He uses a specialized tool, a rigid frame dropping perfectly over exactly 3 boxes. Looking at this sequence again, Slider starts by counting the first 3 boxes to get 6. He pins that number up on a board as his current best total. Instead of dropping everything and starting over, Slider simply pushes his rigid frame exactly 1 position forward. Slider doesn't recount the middle boxes. He knows the new total is just the old total minus the 5 that just fell out the back, plus the 0 that just entered the front. 6 minus 5 plus 0 gives him a new total of 1. He slides the frame once more. Subtract the 2 that fell out, add the 3 that came in. The new total is 2. Since neither 1 nor 2 is bigger than his original 6, that best score on his board stays right where it is. By reusing his previous math to find the next total, Slider eliminates all the redundant counting. He turns a problem of constant backtracking into a smooth, one-way motion. On a long enough belt, the difference is night and day. Loop is frantically running back and forth, while Slider walks steadily forward, doing a tiny bit of subtraction and addition at every step. To see why this matters, we can look at how the workload grows as we add more boxes to the conveyor belt. This graph compares the 2 methods. With Loop's redundant recounting, the workload piles up fast. Every new box added to the belt multiplies the total amount of steps he has to take, sending the time required shooting upward. But with Slider's window method, the workload stays on a steady, flat path. Because he only passes through the sequence once, the effort only grows at the same rate as the data. When you're dealing with millions of records, this isn't just a minor improvement. It's the difference between a program that runs instantly and one that crashes because it's buried under its own math. That rigid frame is great when you know exactly how many items you need to group together. But what if the size of the group needs to change based on what's inside? For those problems, we use a variable window. Imagine an elastic frame where the front and back edges move entirely on their own. The front edge stretches forward, swallowing up more boxes as long as the total inside stays under a limit. The moment that limit is broken, the back edge pulls forward, dropping the oldest boxes until the total is back in a safe range. The window expands forward until it hits a limit, then shrinks from the back to keep moving. It moves exactly like an inchworm. Even as the window changes size, it still only moves in one direction, keeping that high-speed efficiency. Once you recognize this pattern, you'll start seeing it everywhere, from how search engines process sentences to how video apps manage your data stream. You'll know you're looking at a window problem when you're asked to find something within a connected segment of a larger sequence. It usually involves finding a best or worst result, and it's always used when the amount of data is too large to count twice. Solving these complex problems isn't about doing the math faster. It's about organizing the work so well that you never have to waste energy solving a problem you've already finished.